essentially we were hosting this forum. It was kind of done at the last minute, and it was here at Q4 Radio at the main stage area in the back. So check out that live stream on our Facebook page. We also, once again, have a high-definition version that's also on our YouTube channel. So, look, we've covered the Democratic primary with, a lot of detail. We always weigh in our thoughts on the candidates and, who was the stronger of the candidates. We always say, well, Chris Kennedy did this. J.P. Pritzker answered this question pretty well. Senator Daniel Biss answered this pretty well. And, of course, we also we weigh in on who was the stronger candidate and who potentially has the best chance to really make an impact for the political party. And so we're going to do the same thing with the Illinois Libertarian Party. So first and foremost, let's start off with the lieutenant governor's portion of the debate. It was between Sanj and David Earl. So basically, it was a much shorter version of the debate, but I'm going to say from how I've seen the two individuals answer the questions, David Earl Williams III basically I think turned out to be the much more stronger candidate.
So what were some of the topics or questions that were asked for the candidates? Well,
of course, one, why not?
Oh, actually, before we go into that, can I just set up the format? So we did this. This was a co-moderated event. So this was Hardlands Media was moderating, but also Jenny from the Libertarian Party Jenny Floyd. She was there because, we wanted to make sure with Libertarians when they're doing their thing, they had someone that represented their direct interests, that was their opposite kit. We thought that was very important to balance out the questions and what type of questions were asked. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. But
some of the questions that we asked have basically given detail. Which one of the gubernatorial candidates was the stronger of the candidates to lead the party? The office of lieutenant governor and its relevance here in Illinois, because as we all know, at one point, lieutenant governor was president of the Illinois State Senate, but since 1970, that's no longer been the case. So it really doesn't have the power or impact that it once had. It's no longer that tie-breaking vote. It's only in charge of certain bureaucratic offices. And finally, we also asked, where they see the party going down the road, especially in future election cycles, and what can they potentially offer.
And I remember specifically one question you asked to both of them, which was something like, which of the candidates do you like?
Yeah, I asked them which of the governor candidates
I thought they gave some of the most different style answers, maybe not in what they say at the end, but the style of it.
Right.
Whereas David, and what's the other guy's name?
Sanj.
His was basically, well, I like each of them for different reasons, and I would be happy to work with any of them, whereas David's was, that's a dumb question. I'm going to go with whoever wins.
Of course. Well, I mean, look, right off the bat, eventually once the Libertarians pick who their nominee is going to be, of course, without a shadow of doubt, they're going to have to work together, and so they got to go forward.
Yeah, so the way the Libertarian Party works, it's a little different, is instead of the governor candidate winning and they pick a running mate, it's the Libertarian Party. There's a number of people that will run to be the governor candidate, and there's a number of people that will run to be the lieutenant governor candidate, and the Libertarian Party will pick who they like for the lieutenant governor, and then they'll pick who they like for governor.
Right. And Daniel, who do you think was the stronger candidate for the lieutenant governor debate?
Well, I think that there's a few things to be factored in, but I think if the entire Libertarian Party choice of lieutenant governor was determined solely by that event, I think I would go with what you said and say David Earl Williams III.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think he was a little bit more prepared, and plus, he's been campaigning for a very long time. At least I think the last time when we had him on our show was sometime in May, and he was campaigning since that time, or even before then.
Yeah, and
I think he was on episode 3.
He was an early guest, but I think on top of that, he has that outgoing voice that you have for speakers need to have, where they speak with this passion and conviction.
Yeah.
And Sandra's much more mild-mannered.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's great to have these forums. It's great to have debates, but
Well,
it's judging certain aspects of a candidate that aren't the whole picture. So being able to speak in public, fantastic if you're in politics. True. Being able to think of answers on your feet, having answers and ideas of what you want to do and have them prepared, that's great.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that.
There is, and plus, let's also add in for the governor's portion as well. That one was a little bit more livelier and was really more intense. Now, as we all now, in case some of our viewers who may not notice, the three individuals that are trying to get the governor nomination is Matthew Scarborough, Jon Stewart, no relation to the Jon Stewart comedian.
He's at an animal sanctuary as we speak.
And Cash Jackson. So these
with
three,
a K.
Yes. And so these three individuals are trying to get the get the governor's nomination for the Illinois Libertarian Party. And each one of these individuals really brings in something unique to the table. Jon Stewart, this was his second or I believe third time running with the Illinois Libertarian Party.
I don't think it's his third time. I think it's his third time running. I think it's his first time with the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, and he did say that this will be his last time running for any kind of governor office seat or anything similar to that. Cash Jackson, he's a former veteran, serves about 20 years in the Navy. And then there's Matthew Scarborough, who's been with the Illinois Libertarian Party for quite some time, too.
It's almost a very video game style choice where there's no... If you look at kind of like these broad spectrum of traits, no one really has the advantage in terms of... Well, in just this context that... Scar, like you said, I think it's fair to say that he would be the most true ideologically libertarian because, again, he's been with the party for a very long time. He speaks the wording that the party would promote. Where Jon Stewart has more of the ability to fund the campaign. He is the media apparatus. He has the highest ability to win, in a sense.
Yeah.
Then you have Cash Jackson, who's kind of this... balance of he's more even-headed. He's again, it's like what I'm trying to say is each of them have their own perks. It's not like they overlap. It's a very true choice. It's not I could have this guy who has 50% this trait or this and 40% this trait, or this guy who has 40% that trait and 50% this trait.
Yeah.
It's an interesting race.
Yeah, it was, and it was a very intense debate, especially between all three of them.
Oh man, yeah. If there's one thing you see that we did this week, it's check out the basically watch the governor's portion of the Libertarian debate. It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch, and plus you hear about each of the different policies. I tell you one thing, it was a difficult I hope I did a very good job moderating that whole thing, because it was tough to do, because you had to deal with these three different individuals who probably got tired of talking over each other for such a very long time.
Or they got tired of the other people talking.
Yes, of course. So right off the bat, we do have to address one who was the stronger, at least from that debate, if this is the first time watching it or not really knowing anything about these three candidates. I'm going to weigh in and say that at this point in time, right now, Cash Jackson did seem like the stronger of the candidates.
So, in terms of the chat, I think the chat very much claimed him. Yeah. I think he might have gotten more props in chat than either of the other two combined. However, I think that if you're someone that subscribes to the way to look at the world that Scarborough has, I think that you'd think he won.
Right.
I think that I think each of them had very distinct groups that think they won. I think the real question is which has the bigger group.
Yeah.
And I think it is
at this
Cash.
Point, I think it has to be Cash Jackson.
I'm not.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have
to
vote.
This is just for this debate.
When are they announcing it?
Today.
Today. Today's the day.
Have they just at any point today?
Or? Oh no, a week from today.
Oh, a week from today.
I just got news. It's a week from today.
That's a week from today, and they'll make their announcement. Okay. Well, that was a little interesting.
So next week we'll let everyone know what happens. We'll see if their picks.
We should definitely plan more debates, even if it's just between two candidates or something for the same district, and make sure it's on a day that I can go.
Yeah.
Well, we will try our best.
I would love to be a moderator. That would be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. This wasn't my first rodeo, but I'm looking forward to doing future forums in the next couple of months if we ever have the opportunity to do so.
This was a lot of fun to do. You're watching Hard Lens Media.